breakfast together, we would all be just like kind of getting in the mood, middle of the day. I hope people had lunch.
I like that.
Great. I think this is going to be, I don't know. I don't remember if you did it intentionally that this session comes right after the ESG session, but I think it worked out, it aligned perfectly. So, okay, I'm going to start welcoming everyone and slowly turning off our music. Perfect. As we're expecting a few more people and Eric is still dancing a little bit, I wanted to welcome everyone to this session that we're really excited about today. We have, our EdenBase team, Daniel, Eric, and Nikki, who has been amazing helping us out with like everything that you're seeing that we are sharing on social media and all of our channels. And I remember that I had mentioned this to you before, but feel free to email her with like any updates, news that you have. She's been getting a few emails about company updates that we're going to be sharing afterwards with our community, because as Eric keeps emphasizing, we want to make sure that we help you reach out to the right people and are visible to our network. So along those lines, that's why we're really excited to have Mina with us today from Upschool. And I'm going to get into that, but I just wanted to kind of refer back to the point about how this is great that it's coming right after our panel on sustainable super growth, where we talked about ESG and SDGs, a subject that we all need to learn more about and really explore what the implications are for our businesses. And that's kind of what we're also trying to do at EdenBase too, is just being very mindful of what we're doing in terms of creating a more sustainable future, both environmentally, socially, economically, and in terms of the social part. As you can see, we're 2 men, 2 women as the EdenBase team. And we know that when we open up the applications, it's like we wanted to get amazing companies in our pipeline so that we can connect with them. And in our top 20, we have amazing teams, and it is kind of heartbreaking that only 4 of those teams have female founders, but we also know that it wasn't like up to us to select female versus male. Our judges are part of this evaluation process, and we're not in control of who's entering the applicant pool. And we know this. We know that this is something we have to be tackling as an organization, as a society, to have more women in technology, because not that many of our applicants in this competition, where we're talking about blockchain, AI, frontier technologies, and helping companies with achieve super growth. And with that note, we wanted to make sure that we're taking our steps toward creating opportunities for more women in technology. And that's why we really appreciate the women founders in our cohort. And we want to help everyone in our cohort and in our network have access to. We just don't want to give you suggestions and advice and leave you without any resources or actionable steps. And that's why we're really happy to have Mina with us today, representing Upschool, and she's going to share kind of what they're doing and how they can actually help you have a more like socially diverse team in your company. So welcome, Mina.
Hi, everyone. I'm really excited and glad to be here. Thank you for the introduction, Gökçe, and the opportunity. Maybe I can introduce myself briefly. My name is Mina. I'm co-founder of Upschool. Upschool is an edtech startup. We started a year ago, actually found all the difficulties and opportunities also. So I will explain Upschool in detail in a minute. But before that, actually, I would like to ask some questions to you to get more insight about your actual team dynamics and the diversity. Gökçe, if you help me about the poll, that would be great.
Absolutely. So there's two questions that look very similar in the poll. I just want you to pay attention to the little difference and answer these questions. So the first one is, what is your experience with finding and recruiting the right team members for tech positions? And the second question is, what is your experience with finding and recruiting the right female team members for tech positions? So if you can, yeah, we have responses coming in, people having challenges with the first one. I'm just going to leave it open to give everyone a chance. Oh, because we want to have an understanding of where you are with all of this, and we just want to this kind of also ties into the problem that we all have to tackle together.
Definitely. The first question is related to more bigger picture, but the second one is we are getting in deeper into it. So I'm really excited about the results.
Perfect. So I think almost everyone's in. I'm going to close this poll now and share the results with you.
The first question, the highest percentage we have had some challenges, 64%. It's been super easy, 0% as I expected, so no surprise about that. And the second one, female team members, one of the hardest tasks we have. Yeah, I can imagine. So it's good that I'm here. I hope we can solve your problem. The results seems like we expected, but I hope we can change. All of us can change the results. So maybe after this polling, Gökçe can move to tell a little bit about UpSchool. First of all, I thought that I can start with the philosophy of UpSchool. Last year, I guess I saw an article about from Columbia Business School that this research is about what changed the way of thinking of people, their attitude and behavior. So the first result is data and science. As you can imagine, numbers are affecting us. And the second is inspiring stories. I'm sure that you all have these stories. And the third one is role models. Role models are quite important in my life, and I'm sure in your lives too. And you have some role models, and you are role models to some people. So it really changed our lives, and it affects people. So actually, UpSchool is based on role models, but specifically raising female role models in tech. As I mentioned before, we started a journey a year ago. Right now, to summarize, it's UpSchool is an education platform, and we provide an upgraded career opportunity in tech, and specifically for women. Last February, a year ago, I talked lots of university students, new grads, HR, and IT people, and asked some of the common questions. And as I saw in the poll, they have some common problems as well. For example, university students don't feel enough for their future careers. The reason behind it, because of the unemployment rate and the pandemic situation, etc. But on the other hand, actually, universities are not enough to teach us the practical knowledge about our careers. And the second one is human resources having another problem. They spend too much time and resources for recruiting, and they say that I cannot find any new grads who have matched my skill set, my company's skill set, and the grad skill set. So I'm sure that in these startups, 20 startups are having the same issue as well. And the third one is, as you all know, unfortunately, we have a very low percentage of female tech people in tech industry. So all of these problems lead us that we said that, okay, we can raise female role models in tech. We can select them. Actually, we can provide an education program, and then we can introduce them with the companies so that they can start their career as soon as possible. So I will just briefly mention about what we are doing in the programs. And before that, first of all, our target group is senior university students and new grads. And there are lots of benefits of hiring new grads. I'm sure that For example, in startups, we want to hire senior people to make it the business faster and easier. I'm sure about that. But sometimes it's costly, and sometimes you can't find the right person. But hiring new grads have lots of advantages, like they are ready to shape and they are less costly, and there is, of course, return on investment. So I highly recommend that. That's why there is a huge potential here, and we focused on that. And we select our students as if we will hire them. So it requires 4 steps in the admission process: online form, English test, coding test, and interviews. Which students are we looking for? Actually, these students have to have growth mindset. They have to improve themselves. They have to know what are they doing, that what they will be doing in upschool as well. For example, do they think that this program is like MOOCs, I mean massive online open courses like Udemy or Coursera, taking 1 or 2 courses and then leave the program? Or are they aware of that their life is gonna change? So we are questioning these kind of questions, and then after that we select our students. And we provide an education program like you can hire immediately. These programs are 100% live online, and these hard skill content includes lots of industry specific projects, especially. For example, in our data science program, we have a good example here. One of the 20 startups here is Faraday, and Faraday team came to our data science program, and they were guest lecturers. For example, Tuğçe was joining one of our sessions, and she was really contributing our programs so that we can get lots of insights and projects from startups and companies as well. And this was the hard skill program part. And the second one is soft skill. Soft skill is much more important than the hard skill, in my opinion, because eventually we will change. I mean, the information and data will be changing, but the things that we will carry on is our soft skills. So in women, we saw that. I mean, in my journey, I saw a couple of experience that, for example, women, even if they have a strong technical background, unfortunately, they don't have enough confidence. So right now we are unleashing their potential, their confidence, and we make them gain some core skills in upschool. It's really hard to explain, but I saw that, for example, in 2 months, lots of young women change in a positive way. So it gives me really, it gives me hope and more energy to move on. And the fourth part is job placements. Right now, we are not just providing education program. Actually, our aim is the recruitment part. This is our revenue model as well. So when a grad of upschool is hired by a company pays a fee to upschool. Until now, what did we so far in programs? Actually, we had 2 programs. One is RPA, robotic process automation, and the second one is data science. As I mentioned before, Faraday was one of the partners in our program. And right now in our peer program, we have 100% hiring rates. And there are lots of stories and people behind it. But to give you an example, for example, Havva graduated from a university in Turkey, but she was industrial engineer, but she couldn't find any job, so she had to work in a retail store to just get revenue and make her life. But after that, she applied to upschool, we accepted her. Right now, she works as an RPA developer in a company which is placed in Istanbul, but she is in another city right now in Turkey. So that actually their life is going to change. This is kind of next generation university. Even though you go to university for 4 years, sometimes you cannot get the right job. But this is a good example for us that there are lots of potential in this woman, and we are just exploring it. In data science program, we have 60% hiring rate. We hope that it will be also increased. Right now, we have two active programs, data analysis and Android development. These programs are, we have these programs with Ford and Akbank. Akbank is one of the biggest banks in Turkey, by the way. And this is an opportunity for us to have creating an opportunity for recruitment in Ford and Akbank. So after, around May, we will have these grads in these two programs, and I hope you can also meet with them. So until now, we have more than 3,000 applications, and we have 0% dropout rate and 70% hiring rate. I'm sure, I hope that this number will be increased. So until now, just to give you any information, maybe it will also inspire you. Right, the last summer we had a strategic partnership with Stanford University to work in our global expansion. And the second one is with Google UK. We invited 3 engineers from Google London, India, and San Francisco, and they had some sessions about data science as Faraday did before. So it started a new journey for us, and I hope that the contributors and the volunteer ones in this startup, maybe they will also come to our sessions and be a role model for us. So until now, this is what I would tell you, Gökçe, but if you have any question or anything, I can share.
That's great. Thank you so much. I think you mentioned there are a few ways of these companies of working with you. You gave an example of Faraday, one of our cohort companies, supporting you in the development of that program. Can you just explain what they were doing, how you were able to help them, how they were able to help you with the program, so that maybe some of our companies in our cohort can think about ways to work with you as well?
Yeah, sure. For example, for Faraday case, for example, one of the team members of Faraday, Tuğçe, came to our session to tell a specific project and specific content of data science. But on the other hand, one of, the biggest e-commerce company in Turkey called Trendyol, for example, their data team came to our session and they gave their data project to our students as a homework. So that every 2 weeks, our students doing homeworks from different domains. So our aim is to prepare them as soon as possible and with a good technical background. So there are lots of different opportunity for us to collaborate, but I would like to get your comments or opinion as well, for example, to these startups. And if you have anything on your mind, please feel free to share with me.
Yeah, thank you so much. With that, I just want to encourage anyone, you can write it in the chat or you can raise your hand if you have a question or an idea. I think Mina mentioned that they're training these young women in robotics, data analytics, and now you have an Android program and you have another one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Right now, actually, we have actively 2 programs, but we are planning to launch new programs too. The programs we are launching are based on your insights. The sector's insight. Which people are you looking for? Which talent are you gonna hire during 2021, for example? So to make sure that these people, these young women, will be hired soon. So that's why your insights are crucial for us. For example, if you think that, for example, you will hire 5, 3, 4, whatever Android developers, if you tell us, we can help you around May.
That's really impressive. And I remember your acceptance rate. You had over 3,000 applications, and how many totally accepted?
Right now, we have 96. Wow. 60 actively. Yeah. So 60 actively, 36 grads.
Sure, all these companies that these are really hand selected people being trained specifically to meet those technical needs, who are coachable, trainable, eager, excited, and committed to developing themselves.
Definitely, we are spending so much time and energy. For example, me included, as an I mean, as a founder, we are working on team members and to find new talents. So I know the pain that you've been experiencing. So I hope we can help you. And the reason why we select these students, actually, it's increasing our success rate as well. So I saw lots of good advantages of elaborate admission process.
That's great. Thank you. And I think you mentioned that one of the easiest ways to start working with you is maybe if any of you have a project right now, what kind of project could that be? Like, does the size of the project matter? You mentioned a data project.
Yeah, for example, I mean, of course, there are some, I mean, anonymity problem in data issue. I know about that. But if you have a small project, even if you did you did that project before or now, you can share with us, or in Android development program for Android development as well. But this is one side. But on the other side, actually, right now we have data analysis, data scientists, data engineers. So, for example, if, Eric, I saw your hand. You can go. I can mention later.
No. Please finish your point.
All right. Just quick point. For example, if you are looking for data analysis, data engineers, please feel free to contact us, because right now, I mean, we are in Turkey. I'm connected from Istanbul. Because of the exchange rate and European work style and time zone, there is no time zone problem. You will be very advantaged when you hire people from here. And I know there are some budget issue in startups, so don't worry about that. It's really advantages. There are lots of advantages to hire from us. Eric, please, you go.
Yeah, we've had a good experience in hiring people from Turkey, so definitely.
Yeah, there is a great example here. Thank you, Eric.
So just listening to your presentation, by the way, it's incredibly impressive, and thank you so much for coming on and doing this and showing that it is possible, right? Just by a little bit of effort, connecting with a great program like yourselves, our cohort could end up being one of the most diverse and the best balanced that have ever been through a program like this, right? So that's a great ambition. But also, in addition to that, you made me think, and I wonder if I ask you, I mean, I don't want to say the name of the company, but Gigi and I are pitching for a super growth program for actually quite a well-established company that needs a developer engagement program. And it's to incentivize these developers to learn a whole set of new skills, which when they've got them in the program will make them even more valuable to the companies that they go to, because they will bring their applications superpowers. And I don't want to say what it is because it would give it away, but so are you the kind of organization we would go to and say that we want to find so many developers, we're going to train them and have a competition where the best ones will win prizes as well in particular technology? Can you help with that?
Sounds great, by the way. Right now, our focus is not upskilling the employees in the companies, but rather than reaching new people, new women, new grads, mostly unemployed. So we are reaching more disadvantaged people. For example, as you mentioned, it's reminded me something. A couple of weeks ago, we had a meeting with Ford Motor Company in Turkey, and they were, for example, they want to upskill their employees, and we weren't focusing on that part. So that
Sure.
We said, okay, you can just, I mean, some of the people in your production team, rather than tech team, I mean, the woman was working on something in really robotic stuff, physical robotic stuff. So we accepted her, and right now she transferred to data team in Ford Motor Company. I mean, it's a great example for that. Yeah. But right now it was like an MVP for us.
A one-off,
but, definitely. So right now we are not focusing on software developers, rather than that we are just recycling them.
Okay.
I hope I'm clear, by the way, Eric.
Yeah, no, you are. It's great. I'm glad I asked the question because it's even more clear what you do now, which is terrific.
Actually, along those lines, we have a question coming from our audience. Thomas from Sona. How does the project handling look like between corporates and students? When working with student groups, we experience the high coaching effort, but doing it right and actually taking something good out of those projects. So
yeah, it's quite important. When I mean, in my upschool journey, I saw that support is the most crucial thing ever. And since we just select women, we saw a really sisterhood climate in them. So whether they are feeling low in their technical backgrounds or their mood, I mean, both hard skill and soft skill part, they can share each other and then they can learn each other. That's why I'm sure that one of the things that upschool will be successful is selecting women and supporting them. So about the question, sorry, I raised my hand. In that part, for example, in education programs, we have lots of TAs. So they can, for example, schedule an office hour, or before and after class, they can contact with them. So we are not. I mean, our students are not alone, and we make them feel about it in both projects and both their personality as well. So this is a hard part. I mean, because when they feel alone, they tend to leave the program, and it's really I mean, possible, so that we are with them every time. So it takes lots of effort. So I can understand why Thomas mentioned about that. But the thing is that I mean, TA support, like instructor support, are quite important. And by the way, after for example, 16 weeks in data science program, we have a 2 weeks for the capstone projects, and they are more focusing on their projects and then they present them. This is another important part, because not just having a program, but always doing projects are quite important for their improvement. And after these capstone projects, their recruitment process is much more easier, because actually they prove that they have their own project. So I can briefly summarize it like that. I hope I can answer your question, Thomas.
great, thank you so much. I think that was a great response to that question. And as Eric pointed out, you have great examples of like how your model is working and what you've proven. And you did launch right before lockdowns and stuff, but you always had the intention of being online only platform. I think we have another question. Thanks.
It's from Thomas. Thank you.
Yes. So I shared your email address in chat, and I hope that our founders and our team members were inspired to take some action to be more intentional about their efforts and how they're shaping up their team and their culture and their values. And we will share additional information with people as well. And we have another question. Yes.
Hi, Nesrin. First of all, we don't have any Unity development program, but it's good that you ask. Maybe, I mean, we can launch a new program about that. And if you also send me an email or share an email of you, that would be great, so that I can understand more you better. And maybe we can open a program, or not Unity, but something else. Thank you for the support and writing here. Glad to meet you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. With that, I would like to thank Mina, first of all, for starting something like this, really executing on it quickly, proving your model and expanding on it, partnering with and offering to kind of partner with us and be available to the companies in our cohort, to the teams in our cohort, whether it's training or recruiting someone for your team. Mina and Upschool team would be able to help you, or if you have a project in robotics data analytics, again, I would really encourage you to reach out to Mina. We're going to share information about Upschool with you, as we are going to do about all of our sessions. So thank you so much, Mina.
Thank you, Gökçe. It's the first time that we are doing something like this with EdenBase support. And you, Eric, Danielle, Nikki, thank you very much for the experience and opportunity. And I wish you, for the startups, I wish you great luck. I hope, I mean, you are already successful, but I hope you can make it better. Thank you.